Okay, so as mentioned in my update video, I talked a little bit about the 1958 John Deere 720 diesel that I purchased and had kind of a short period of time. And y'all seen a little snippet of that tractor in the video a while back, and I was going to make some more videos of it, but it just never evolved. I do have some footage of it, and I'm gonna piece that video together along with maybe some photos and run them right now for y'all to see. And then at the tail end of that, I will talk a little bit about that tractor and that story. So here you go. Alright, so the 720 John Deere diesel, I always liked those tractors, and had kind of got to looking for one, and that's the one I ended up with. So the story on that tractor is, I found it from a guy that had quite a collection of tractors. I had 30 to 40, somewhere in there. He had a good bit of that era tractors, and other antique classic tractors, and some cars, trucks, motorcycles. He had two that I knew of and seen sheds full, and one was kind of a nicer collection, I guess you could say, nicer shop area. But I actually went to look at a 730, and it was one that needed a little work, but I got there, realized the guy had a lot of tractors, and he was seemingly willing to possibly let go something else that I might be interested in. So it was there quite a while, and looked over a lot of different tractors, and wound up going over into his, I would call his main building, say, and that's where he had, you know, some classic cars, trucks, motorcycles, collection stuff. Very back far corner of this building was this 720 diesel, and it came out of Kansas, I believe it was. It was a Wheatland tractor, and he had originally obtained the tractor and I think sold it to somebody else. He had sat in a barn somewhere, and the way I understood, some of the parts and sheet metal got taken off of it. Maybe even went to someone else, I don't know. And then at some point he got it back and managed to get the sheet metal and stuff back for it too, somehow. So, but when he got it, the motor had, I think he tore down the motor, but realized it had been rebuilt, reworked already. So I don't know that he did a lot of motor work to it. And I can't remember. It seemed like he did say that when it did lock up, so maybe he did have to go in to it twice to get it finally right. But anyway, the tractor was sitting back there, kind of had to crawl around a little bit, if I remember right, to get to it. It didn't have any decals on it. Well, it had a couple, but it was missing, I think, most of the decals. The lights weren't on it, just a few little things. Had some pieces that were that went to the Wheatland tractors in the floorboard that were a little rough shape. They'd been repainted and were on there, but they were a little rough. But got to going around that tractor, and I don't think he said it had ran for 8 years or so. It was kind of tucked away back there in the back. And I was really taking a liking to that tractor, and he finally was kind of willing to let it go. My nervous part was it was all the way in the back of this corner of this building. I was like, he had a lot of stuff parked in there, and I was like, moving everything in there to get this thing out was going to be like an ordeal. And the whole time we were standing there at it, I'd never seen it, noticed it. It occurred to me, there was a bay door, roll-up door, whatever, garage door, right there on that back corner of that building, right in front of the tractor. There was some stuff stored right there in front of it, but you know, overall it was just move that stuff and right out the building it was. And he pointed that out to me. I was like, man, why did I see that? So it turned out it wasn't going to be that big of a deal to get it out. So I agreed to buy it. He said he'd get it running and get it out, which he did. And I went and got it and bring my own battery, put in it. But anywho, got it back, ordered the decals for it, got them on, found some replacement pieces for those floorboard pieces, and had to do a little work on those, but got them on, painted, did a little more paint work around the tractor, just touching up some areas and whatnot. I got the correct lights for it, front and the back, did the wiring on that, got those in. I think I put the ignition switch. Okay, so the tractor was originally a pony start tractor. If you don't know what that means, it had a little, I think it was a V4 gasoline engine that sat down on kind of top of the motor and crankcase, right below front of the steering wheel area. And that was your starter for the main engine. You would start that little gasoline motor, get it warmed up. You had a couple of a clutch and engagement lever, and you'd engage that thing to the main engine, and it'd spin it over and start it. What he said, that pony motor was trash on that tractor, so it was pulled off, and he did an electric start kit. So the tractor was electric start, but it wasn't a factory electric start, which for that year was a little rare. I think those were more popular on the 730s, but anyway, so it was electric start. But other than that, just cleaned it up real good. I put about $500 probably in it, in lights and parts and decals. And I had me a show tractor, parade tractor, whatever you want to call it. So I got it that summer. I put it in a local tractor parade that fall. Did good. It was also a tractor show, but not judged. And then after that, I put it in another show and won first place at the show. And there was a fair amount of tractors. I mean, it was a small show, but there was a fair amount of tractors there. I also did a tractor parade during that. It was kind of a fall festival going on, and that tractor show and parade was part of it. So did that, and that was neat. And then that's when we decided to buy a house and move. So I was kind of looking at things that I could go and free up some money. So that was one of them. So during that time period is, as I mentioned in my update video, is when I ran across the man that had the feed store, and I don't remember what it's called. I don't remember where it's at. It was in the, I think, northern part of Georgia, and he had contacted me and was interested in the tractor and wanted. He's basically had an area in the front of his store where he had some classic tractors, and that's where he wanted to put this tractor. So in my eyes, I was like, this tractor needs to be seen. Kids like it, they want to sit on it and get pictures, and it needs to be seen. And I'm like, what better place than it to be in a setting where people are coming in and out on a daily basis, and it's there on display, and it's inside, and it's stored and taken care of. So I really wanted that guy to get it, and he contacted me. I forget what was going on, but he wanted to get it, and he's like, I'm gonna mail you the money for it, but he's like, it's gonna be a couple of months before I can come get it. And I was like, well, I mean, that's okay. I was like, I hate to take payment on it and just sit here for 2 months and whatnot, but he insisted that that's what he was going to do, and that's what he did. So basically he paid for it, and I held on to it, and like I said, some time went by, and he finally arranged a day to get it, which good thing on that was it kind of sat through some of the colder parts of the winter, and those don't like to cold start at all. So by the time he got around to being able to come get it, we got into warming up a little bit, so it started up fine. Was able to load it on his trailer and all. So, but that's really that's the last I heard of it, knew of it. I never did stay back in contact with the guy, but my hope is that's where it still is. I hope it's being enjoyed and protected, and is getting more visibility than where it was when I found it. It just was kind of tucked away in that shop. I don't know how many people the guy had come in there and see his collection here and there. But like I said, I know it had sat there for 8 years, from what I remember him saying, and had not run. So I was just glad to see it out and see other people enjoy it and see it, ask about it and its history and whatnot. And I forget that tractor, being a Wheatland, I had printed up a little paper for the shows. I think for that year it was only one of 3,000 and something made. So I don't know. I mean, it was slightly, you could say, rare, not rare like some low numbers, but it was an interesting tractor. I wish I could have kept it, but with me cutting back and all, and now I don't have a 3/4 ton truck gooseneck. You know, that tractor's really heavy, but you know, it was for the best. But anyway, that's the story on that tractor. I hope you enjoyed what little video, pictures, footage I had of it, and the story of it, and that's that. So, if you made it this far, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later.